Today, episode 3, day 2 of Most Expected Topics for Prelims 2020. So, I am going to discuss the topics 11 to 15 today. The 11th topic is First Images of a Black Hole. The scientists at Event Horizon Telescope Project has released the first ever image of black hole, more precisely of its shadow. The black hole is located in the center of galaxy Messier 87 in the constellation Virgo. It is located about 53 million light years away from the Earth. The black hole has a mass of 6.5 billion suns. The image was made possible by the Event Horizon Telescope. So this is very important. What you have to remember, the first image of black hole was being because of Event Horizon Telescope. We are finding the images of black hole because of Event Horizon Telescope. Event Horizon Telescope picks up the radiation emitted by particles in the galaxy, heated to billion degrees as they revolve around the black hole close to the speed of light. So what is black hole? A black hole is like a power center. The term black hole was coined in the mid 1960s by American physicist John Archibald Wheeler. Black hole refers to the point in space where matter is so compressed as to create a gravity field from which even light cannot escape. So a strong gravity field will be there. A strong gravity field will be there where the light cannot escape. That much the gravity will be there. Black holes were theorized by Albert Einstein in 1915. So this is the concept which is already given by Einstein. So further developments are happening on this black hole to get the information about the black hole. The images were being found very recently by the telescope called as Event Horizon Telescope. Event Horizon, there is a region of space beyond this black hole called the Event Horizon. This is a point of no return, beyond which it is impossible to escape the gravitational effects of the black hole. So if this is the black hole, the surrounded it by event horizon, where the light or the gravitational effects, nothing can be escaped from this particular region. This particular region is called as horizon. Event Horizon Telescope Project is a group of 8 radio telescopes used to detect radio waves from space located in different parts of the world. The next topic is El Nino effect on monsoon. El Nino effect on monsoon. US weather agencies have forecasted that there is a 60% chance of El Nino this summer season. See, you have to read from your geography topic El Nino and La Nino perfectly. Westerlies, western disturbance, these are the topics which are most expected because these are relevant to current affairs. So I will be explaining about it. The forecast, if turned out to be true, could negatively affect India's monsoon seasons. Our monsoons are going to affect if this El Nino is going to come, if going to occur. So where does this occur? It is actually an unusual warming of the sea surface in the Eastern Pacific would cause droughts. Where in the Eastern Pacific means this part of the world. In the Eastern Pacific, in the towards Australian east side, west of United States of America, in that particular region, if there is warm currents, that means low pressure will be there. So it will be spreading this will be pushing the air towards the other sides. El Nino refers to unusual warming of the central and east central equatorial Pacific Ocean, which affects global weather. The warmer waters of the Pacific Ocean cause the winds in various regions to reverse, like the trade winds that come towards India. So reversal will be happening. The change of wind direction leads to warmer winters and summers and a decrease in rainfall during the monsoon. Most of the time it leads to drought. So we will be getting the warmer winds, which will be eating away all the moisture which is available in the air. So because of which we will be experiencing drought. There is also an opposite of an El Nino which is called as La Nina, which means the little girl in Spanish language. This refers to times when waters of the tropical Eastern Pacific are colder than normal and trade winds blow more strongly than usual. Collectively, El Nino and La Nina are parts of an oscillation in the ocean atmosphere system called as El Nino Southern Oscillation, which is called as ENSO cycle. It's called as ENSO cycle. Effects of El Nino. El Nino affects global weather. It favors eastern Pacific hurricanes and tropical storms. Recorded unusual rainfall in Peru, Chile, and Ecuador are linked to the climate pattern. El Nino reduces the upwelling of cold water. So the cold water which is coming out, it will not allow it. Decreases the uplift of nutrients from the bottom of the ocean to the top. This affects marine life and seabirds. The fishing industry is also affected. So whatever the cold water is at the down will not be reaching top. So where the nutrients are there, the nutrients will not be reached top. Why? Because on the top surface the warm water will be there. Drought caused by El Nino can be widespread, affecting southern Africa, India, Southeast Asia, Australia, and the Pacific Islands. Countries depend on agriculture are affected a lot. World Health Organization report on the health consequence of El Nino forecasts a rise in vector-borne diseases, including those spread by mosquitoes. In Central and South America, cycles of malaria in India also linked to El Nino because of change in the weather. Over India, the El Nino has usually been the harbinger of drought and the La Nina of rain. So whenever there is you have to remember this point. Whenever there is El Nino in India, we will be having the drought. Whenever there is La Nina, we will be having the rain. So India, we have to pray for La Nina, whereas in Pacific Ocean countries, they have to pray for El Nino. This is what the major difference is. Indian space debris. According to the latest assessment of space debris by National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, out of the 101 pieces on debris big enough to be tracked created by India's anti-satellite system, ASAT, 49 continue to remain in orbit. So this particular thing is what, which is previously called as space war. So what happened? For the first time, the China destroyed its satellites, showing to the world that we have the power to destroy satellites of other countries as well, by which it is welcoming space wars. Now the India also did the same. How? It is possible that more pieces, smaller ones created from the test. So we tested by destroying a satellite of our own. But the war comes when we destroy the satellites of other country. It has been estimated that nearly 400 pieces were created from India's test. These are the small things which are there in the space. After the test, India had said that since the test was carried out in the lower atmosphere, it did not expect to add any significant amount of space debris. Whatever debris is generated will decay and fall back on the earth within weeks. The report is the first credible estimation in public domain of the amount of debris created by India's anti-satellite test conducted on 27th March 2019 and what remains of it 4 months down the line. India had 97 functional and non-functional but intact satellites in space as on 30th June 2019 and 157 pieces of trackable space debris, including fragments of rockets that become junk after delivering their payloads in their specified orbits. So after having their impact, there will not be no necessity of the satellite and their organs or satellites on their parts. That particular parts will becoming the debris in the space. So it is of no significance. So that is called as space debris. This is and that is called the space debris, as well as sometimes if there is any malfunction, if there is any goods, spare parts associated to the satellites because of some mechanical problem, if the space parts comes out and falls into the space, it is also called as space debris. So this space debris, if it is moving freely in the space, it might affect other satellites. So that is a major concern. This is a very small proportion of the total 14,404 large objects in space sent by all countries, of which 14,432 are debris and junk parts of used rockets. India's anti-satellite test, the exam point of view important. India had shot down 740 kgs microsat R satellite on 27th March 2019 in a demonstration of its capability to destroy a space-based infrastructure of an enemy country. That anti-satellite test made India only the fourth country in the world to have demonstrated such capability. So first such country is China, then it is USA, then it is UK, and now it is India. ISRO launches IMSAT satellite. ISRO has launched the IMSAT satellite on board PSLV C-45 from Shark, Andhra Pradesh. PSLV was also carrying 28 international nanosatellites, most of them from USA, 24 from USA, 2 from Lithuania, and 1 each from Spain and Switzerland. The flight of PSLV was also the longest mission of the PSLV, lasting around 3 hours. So, when the rocket goes and launches into its polar satellite, it takes some time. So, this is the longest PSLV which travelled for 3 kilometers in order to settle down at the orbit. So, you have to remember PSLV C-45 is the longest mission up to now in all the PSLVs. What is this IMSAT satellite? The IMSAT satellite is aimed at electromagnetic spectrum measurement. It is an electronic intelligence satellite for the Defense Research and Development Organization. And this satellite is 436 kgs, manufacturer ISRO, synchronous polar orbit, and it went up to the altitude of 753 kilometers. Polar orbit. A polar orbit travels north-south over the poles and takes approximately 90 minutes for a full revolution. A polar orbit travels, so like this it will be traveling, North Pole, South Pole. In this the direction it will be traveling, North, South. The polar orbit travels north-south over the poles and takes approximately 90 minutes for a full revolution. These orbits have an inclination near 90 degrees. This allows the satellites to see virtually every part of the Earth as the Earth rotation underneath it. An orbit is called sun synchronous when the angle between the sun joining the center, so sun, satellite and the center, these three will be Earth. These three will be in synchronize. Sun, satellite, Earth. These three will be in synchronization. An orbit is called sun synchronous when the angle between the sun joining the center of the Earth and the satellite and the sun is constant throughout the orbit. What is the purpose of this satellite? IMSAT is an all-weather and all-terrain condition satellite which will allow it to work through clouds. Terrain condition which will allow it to work through clouds, rain, forest and coastal area. So wherever it is, it won't compromise. It will be seeing the locations wherever it is present. In the line it will be sun, satellite, Earth. Purpose of the satellites is all-weather, all-terrain condition satellite which will allow it to work through clouds, rain, forest and coastal areas. IMSAT is an ELNET, electronic intelligence satellite, which means it will have a radar to measure the electromagnetic spectrum, so as to intercept and analyze radar signals, find their location, identify the hostile riders based on the radio frequency signature. This will be a vital tool for India when IMSAT along with airborne warning and control systems can effectively locate, tackle and silence enemy radars and secure Indian airspace. So this is to find if any radar is there or else in disaster forecasting, if any foreign radar is there in our ambit, if anyone is checking into our ambit, then we can have a proper measure out of it. That is IMSAT. Kailash Mansarovar. It is written reply in the Lok Sabha, the Minister of State of Culture and Tourism clarified that proposal for sacred mountain landscape and heritage routes. Indian side of Kailash Mansarovar has been included in tentative list of World Heritage Sites of India. So, India has proposed that Kailash Mansarovar to be listed in the tentative list of World Heritage Sites of India. India proposed it, not yet finalized. India proposed. It was proposed as a mixed site in April 2019. As per UNESCO's operational guidelines 2017, a site must be on the tentative list of UNESCO at least for a period, 1 year, before proposing it for final nomination. In order to get a World Heritage Site, it should be in tentative list at least for 1 year. So now we asked UNESCO to place Kailash Mansarovar in tentative list at least for 1 year. Then after we will be getting the qualification to be nominated for World Heritage Sites. Once the nomination is done, it is sent to the World Heritage Center by the stipulated deadline of 1st February of a calendar year. Accordingly, the decision of permanent inclusion of any site in the World Heritage list is taken by the members of the World Heritage Committee. World Heritage Site. Any of the various areas or objects inscribed on the UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization World Heritage List. The sites are designated as outstanding universal value, under the Convention Concerning the Protection of the World Cultural and Natural Heritage 1972. It provides a framework for international cooperation in preserving and protecting cultural treasures and natural areas throughout the world. There are three types of sites. So you have to know that there are three sites of World Heritage sites will be there. One is cultural, other is natural, and other is mixed. Mixed means where culture is there as well as nature is there, natural is there. Cultural heritage sites include hundreds of historic buildings and town sites, important archaeological sites, and works of monumental sculpture. Natural heritage sites are restricted to those natural areas that furnish outstanding examples of Earth's record of life or its geologic processes. Provides excellent examples of ongoing ecological and biological evolutionary processes. Contain natural phenomena that are rare, unique, superlative, or of outstanding beauty. Furnish habitats for rare or endangered animals or plants or are sites of exceptional biodiversities. This can be the condition to be designated as a natural heritage site. Whereas mixed heritage sites contain elements of both natural and cultural significance. So these are about 11 to 15 sites, 15 topics which we prepared by a team expecting for prelims 2020. So please, for current affairs update, you can join in our Telegram channel and subscribe to YouTube channel. Thank you.